Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of the CHIU-Stream. Everybody ready to get a little intense, to get crazy with it, to start painting and drawing for an hour and a half with intensity? I'm not talking about doodling here. I'm not talking about mindless doodling. I'm talking about thinking heavily on what you're painting, thinking about the fundamentals, the structure, the texture, the lighting, all that stuff to try to improve, not just to waste time. There's a difference. You can see in lots of people, lots of different people, perhaps the people that are in school right now, you can see classmates of yours, or even in the workplace, classmates of yours that practice super hard, all the time, every day. Yet, they don't improve nearly as much as the next person. Why is that? It's because they lack the intensity. They lack the intensity when they're drawing. They're just doing their time. Tonight, today, wherever you are, we're not going to do our time. It's time to get intense. It's time to get really intense with it and really think. Because the more you think, the harder you think, the more you're going to improve those little muscles inside your brain that control your ability to think in a three-dimensional way or a two-dimensional way or whatever it is, whichever way you are, aiming to improve, aiming to think. Does that make sense? Now, for all of you out there right now, where it's your very first time on the CHIU-Stream, this is what the whole entire idea is behind the CHIU-Stream. It's a way for just to get some artists together that are really passionate about art, and we're all going to paint together. We're all going to draw together. Years ago, I started this thing called the Subway Sketch Group here in Toronto, Canada, and that was just filled with all these people that have all these positive, all this positive energy. And actually, the Subway Sketch Group is happening today in downtown Toronto. So there's all this positive energy. And one of the reasons why I want to do that was because this way, a lot of the people that contact me and email me asking me questions about this and that, when it takes people maybe 5 minutes to ask me something, it would take me several minutes to answer them. Just because, I might get questions like, oh, how do you draw? How do you use Photoshop well? Things like that. Things that it would take me a million years to answer back. So, instead of me putting in most of the effort, I asked everybody to come subway sketching with me. Right? So if you put in the effort, then I'll put in the effort to teach you, because everybody deserves, education should be free for those of you that deserve it. Those of you that put in that effort. And that's what this CHIU-Stream is for. That's another reason why this CHIU-Stream is here. Because those of you that got up early, those of you that got up late, or stayed up late, I should say, those are the people that are putting in the effort. Who's been staying up late these days? Who's been getting up early to catch the CHIU-Stream and sketch with us? There you go. Tons of people. Look at that. And that's why I'm doing this CHIU-Stream, and that's why I hope that I'll never stop the CHIU-Stream. It's because this is my evolved subway sketching group now. Because there's a lot of people that can't make it to Toronto, Canada to do subway sketching with me. This allows everybody to be able to just hang out, and we're all going to sketch together. We're all going to draw together. Professionals, amateurs alike. Everybody. Why? because we need to remember and we need to practice the fact that we didn't get into this business of art just to work for somebody else, to paint somebody else's stuff, to do assignments at school that don't interest us. We got into this business because we never put down our crayons. You know, we never put down our crayons. Instead, those crayons turned into oil paint, digital paintings, tablets, things like this. Okay, so what is the drawing topic for today? Let's go. Let's come up with some ideas. Okay, and what we're gonna do is everybody's gonna paint these. I'll get to your question in a bit, Elise. You know, we're gonna be painting this topic for an hour, and with intensity, because you only have an hour. Aliens. Okay. Let's say we're going to do some... Let's say we'll do some... Let's design some vinyl toy aliens. Or how does everybody feel about that? Donkey heads, scavenger. Yeah, let's think of a good one. Let's think of a good one. What's a good movie out there that we could do like a remake of, that perhaps was a TV show or movie that was maybe cartoon before or something like that? We'll do a live action version. Let's see. We have Thundercats here, Smoggies, Deep Sea Creature, Bartender Alien, Scooby-Doo, Little Mermaid. Let's see. Power Rangers, Happy Tree Friends. There's so many things here. Let's go with I see a couple cavemen here. I'm kind of feeling the cavemen. Caveman, cave woman. For live action film, this is talking like you know, it could, or not a live action film, but a feature film. CG, 3D, whatever you want. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the caveman. Okay? Everybody's going to do a caveman however they want it. Alien, caveman, you know, whatever you want. Alien or caveman creature. Okay? And we're going to use our creativity, get crazy, and we're going to paint right now. Right now. Right now it's 12:10 in Toronto, Canada. You have 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour. So that means that you're going to finish your caveman themed illustration in 1 hour. So over here in Toronto, Canada, that would be 1:10. Right now it's 12:10. Let's go. Let's start painting. Let's get crazy. And let's start thinking. You know, thinking with intensity. Getting some really good ideas happening, some really good concepts happening, and what's going to happen after that is when you're done, I'm going to put it on the screen and I'm going to paint my version of your version. Okay? And then after that, I'm going to put your image onto my blog, and I'm going to plug your stuff. Okay, so it could be any, you know, you could take the topic caveman and you can interpret it however you want. You can do cave women, you could do a creature from prehistoric time that lives like a caveman. You could do alien caveman, maybe we all came from aliens. Who knows? We're gonna just do something to do with cavemen, okay? Alright, so somebody was asking, oh, how was the barbecue? It was awesome. lots of great food, lots of relaxing time, which always makes me super sleepy. Whenever I stop drawing and I start doing nothing, I start to get sleepy instantly. So if you were following my Twitter yesterday, I was battling that barbecue sauce, those ribs, that chicken. That was intense. That was truly like a war going on in my brain. Stay up, Bobby. Stay up. When these guys are done, when they go to sleep, when they go home, stay up so you could do some more work. I got a bit of a sniffles today. But yeah, so that's what I did. And when I was really sleepy, you know what I thought of? You know what was going through my head? All my CHIU streamers out there telling me, man, I wouldn't fall asleep if I was you. I hope you're not asleep right now, Bobby CHIU. Hope you're still drawing, with me and painting with me. And that gave me that energy, change of mind, change of attitude. Just like how many of you have been affected by this CHIU-Stream and have gotten up, stayed up late when you didn't want to. Because you heard my voice in your head. Well, guess what? I hear your voices in my head, and it's loud. It's loud. It's like a whole bunch of people all staring at me thinking, why isn't Bobby drawing? And that kind of thinking really gets me going, it gets me pumped, gets me really just all into the drawing again, all just tons of energy just come flowing in. The hardest part is just starting, just starting that initial drawing. But that's as simple as turning on your computer or opening up your sketchbook. So I hope that when you go through a day where you're perhaps not drawing as much or something like that, that you perhaps might hear this voice telling you, come on, man, you could do it. You could do it. Just pick it up. Just pick up that sketchbook, pick up that tablet pen, and just do 5 minutes more. Just do 5 minutes more and see how you're feeling. You do that a couple times. If you're still tired, then absolutely go to sleep, because the worst thing is getting sick, from staying up too much. You don't want that to happen. So we got to keep ourselves healthy, keep everything intense when we're drawing. Okay, so we're going to be doing a caveman today as the topic. And let's see. You know what? Let me just ask everybody this question right here, okay? And I want you to just take a minute, think about it, and type something in. Okay? What is your ultimate dream? Let me ask you that. What is your ultimate dream? And don't be afraid to say something crazy. Say something super big. What is your ultimate dream? With intensity. Even say this at home, out loud, with your fist up in the air, yell at the person beside you, and let people know. Get crazy with it. Get intense. You know why? Because this is a big wake-up call. This is a big reminder to you of what your dream is. If you don't repeat it, if you aren't thinking about it, you're not doing it. So you need to keep doing it. Keep telling yourself, what is my ultimate dream? What do I want to do? And let's get real crazy, real ambitious here. I love all of the, little dreams that I see here, it's awesome. And you know what? None of them are impossible. Now you might be saying at this point, what? Are you sure? You know, I just put the craziest thing. I didn't even think that you were reading these. And, you know, I just put the craziest thing possible that I could think of that is totally unrealistic. Well, isn't that a funny word? Totally unrealistic. You know, if I told you 10 years ago, actually 10 years ago, yeah, the internet's just starting and everything. Say even 15 years ago I told you, guess what? One day you're going to be seeing me drawing live in this screen, in this personal computer, and you're going to be able to talk to me and draw with me. Is that unrealistic? What are you talking about? Some sort of magic box? You know, no. That was totally unrealistic 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know, if somebody told you that you can one day go up in this giant metal machine that weighs more than, you know, hundreds of people, and you're going to take this metal machine that isn't alive and you're going to fly it through the air and you're going to get to another side of the world, that's unrealistic too. But guess what? All of these things are happening right now. So today, let's really open up the limitations of our ambitions and really think so-called quote-unquote unrealistic. Let's dream big. Let's get crazy. And let's dream big and keep that dream, and one day get to a point where you can actually do it. You know, if you don't think it's realistic, then you'll never be able to do it. Because that's the most important ingredient, is you thinking that you can do it. If you don't think you could do it, it's not going to happen. Okay? Now, you want to hear, since everybody recorded, or sorry, I was just reading something. Since everybody has told me your ultimate dream, okay? I'm going to share with you my ultimate dream. Crazy About You's ultimate dream. You know what? I always wanted to own an island. To have an island where it would be like a sanctuary for artists. All the best artists in the world will come to this island and stay for free. And we would just draw and paint together all day, musicians as well. And it would be beautiful. It's just like this gathering of creative minds practicing and learning from each other, sharing thoughts, sharing ideas. And the power of imaginism and whatever is happening will help to fuel this island and make it possible. That's my dream. You know, we could start really thinking big after hearing that. You know, we could really start thinking big. Now, there's another part to this dream, which would be one day I would own a laser cannon on my island, and I'd be able to carve statues and stuff into the mountains on my island and make giant art. Giant art. Now that one might seem totally realistic or unrealistic to you. But one day, 20 years from now, if you read in the paper, oh, local artist or Canadian artist starts carving, giant statues into mountains on his own personal island that you could see from space. Giant creatures. Then, you know what? You can think back to this exact Ustream, and you can slap the person beside you and go, "Oh my goodness! You know what? 20 years ago, this man said that he would actually do this. And now he really is. He's carving into his little private island giant statues." Now, who knows if this would happen? Maybe it will. I believe that there is definitely a chance. But at the same time, if I really strive for this, I don't make it. Where am I? If I really strive for this and I don't make it, what would happen? Would it be that I live in a shack? Would it be that, I really strive for this to happen and I only ended up with a giant mansion that artists can, come to and hang out and learn art and do art, and all the best artists in the world, cooks with, amazing top cooks can experiment on, making new dishes in this giant mansion. That wouldn't be so bad either. Say I couldn't have a giant laser cannon to carve, statues into the mountains. Well, what would I have then? Maybe I would have something else. Maybe I would just have something that it can make giant statues. That'd be super cool too. It's okay to dream unrealistic dreams. It's okay. Allow yourself to really just become that dreamer, You are what you believe in, or you are what you believe you are, basically is the message here. Okay? So even if even if you aren't a conceptual artist but you always wanted to be, even if you aren't, whatever it is that you want to be, that doesn't mean that, honestly, it doesn't mean that you aren't. It's just that you aren't doing it yet. If you're a student that wants to be a conceptual artist, guess what? You are a conceptual artist. You are. Take it seriously like that and think about it like that, because that's what will get you to that level yet. Right now, you're a conceptual artist. It's just that you're getting ready. It's just that you're still practicing. You're still getting better. And you know what? That will never stop. You'll never stop to try to get better. Okay. Just going to do some feet over here. So somebody was saying, is there a certain way to create appeal in your characters? Yeah, it's like these funny combinations of sizes and things like that creates appeal. You also just want to experiment a lot with different sorts of combinations and things like that to come up with your own style, your own kind of edge. And if you have a question, feel free. As you can see, a lot of people are asking questions, and they are coming first as a question all in capital letters, and then you write your question afterwards. So for all of you that are just joining in, the topic today is a caveman. Any kind of caveman creature, whatever you like, whatever you want to do, okay? The theme is caveman, and you have until 45 minutes left. 45 minutes left, and we're going to post it onto the Imaginism Studios blog. I'm going to take a look at it from there. I'm going to take off I'm going to choose one, take it off the blog, put it on screen, and then paint my own version of your character. Okay, so after that little talk about, really thinking big and not being afraid of thinking of some really big dreams, 1 minute. 1 minute. Type down your dream now, your ultimate dream. And let's think big. Big, 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 big. Because even if you don't get to that dream, I guarantee you're going to be in such a sweet place that you're totally not going to mind. But we are going to aim for that dream with intensity, never stop, never quit until we get there. And if we never get there, then that just means we never stop. That's all that means. Zombie hunter. You could do that. But I guess, to make that dream possible, you'd have to figure out some way to create zombies. And then you can hunt them. But, any dream is possible. Any dream is possible. You want to fly around in a rocket pack? Absolutely. I believe in you. If you want to do this, you want to do that, I don't care what you say. I believe in you. Because the things that we've seen throughout history are amazing things. Especially nowadays, as technology just keeps rolling forward at such a rapid rate. It really does feel that things are like nothing is impossible. Okay, so somebody wants me to do a colored version of this, of something today, so let's do a little colored version. Okay. Question: will there be a trailer for the creature design class on Schoolism? Yes, when it's more closer to being complete. Right now, it's still in the works. I don't want to rush these kind of things. And since I have a lot of other things to do, it's just taking a little bit more time than my first class. One of my very, serious dreams is to change the education of art. To change how we educate ourselves as artists. And that was before Schoolism. Schoolism is a vehicle, definitely. Why? Because it's always better to learn from somebody that can teach and somebody that's actually doing it. Doing whatever it is that you want to do out there in the real world. Those kind of people are the people that can teach you the most. And anybody that's a working person that has learned from somebody at their workplace that is a great artist can absolutely agree with me on this. The problem is that these kind of people, usually they're so busy, they don't have time to teach. They don't have time to teach in universities or in colleges or anything like that because they're busy making movies. Their schedule doesn't allow them to go to a university or a college or a high school or whatever it is during the day because they have work to do. So then the whole entire idea was, well, what if we made it so that everybody's schedules are adjustable? You can make your own schedule. The teacher can make their schedule on when to, teach, and the students can make their own schedule of when they will watch the videos or when they will learn. So that's how Schoolism came up. And now it's possible. Now there's all these teachers teaching on schoolism that never would have the time to actually teach in person in the real world. Not only that, but allowing people that are from all over the world, if you think about it, somebody from Brazil or somebody from Norway or wherever, trying to learn from the best. But the best is living in California or wherever it is. For them to learn, traditionally you would have to move down, you have to pay tens of thousands of dollars in school, move down and pay tens of thousands of dollars in rent and whatever else, moving in, furniture, all that stuff. This way, on Schoolism, it's one-on-one critique. They paint on top of your own work, and it's only a fraction of the cost. It's $1,000 for a roughly, on average 9 to 13 week workshop. So for some people that might be a little pricey, but main thing is that you're getting teachings from the top professionals that make a lot of money. So what are you going to do? You have to give them something for them to want to teach. But all in all, I think anybody that's taken a Schoolism class really tends to love it and is completely transformed. Now, the evolution of that has created this. It's created this CHIU-Stream video where also tons of people from all over the world can learn, can watch, can share, for even less money, down to a point where it's free. Now, this isn't completely, instructional. I'm not taking a look at your personal work, because that's the best way to improve, is to get somebody to take a look at your personal work. Because everybody has, different problems with their stuff, but at the same time, lots of people have been asking me questions, and I try to answer as many questions as possible and all this stuff. So, okay, question. Is it too much to take more than one class at Schoolism? It depends. If you are full-time on something else, then I'd say one class at a time. But should you take more than one class at a time? Of course, I'm going to say absolutely. But this is why. It's because you want to learn from as many different points of view as possible. That's what is known as common sense in the real world, and in the art world, that's also known as common sense, I guess, because you want to learn as many different ways as possible. That way, you are not limited to anything anymore. You'll have multiple ways of solving multiple problems, and that's how I paint. The things that I put down are things that symbolize all sorts of different ways of thinking. Texture and lighting and structure and all that stuff. And how did I come up with this style? It's all through just learning different ways of thinking. And once you start to do that, then you start to see yourself gravitate towards certain aspects of art. And that's how I believe, that's how you make a long-lasting style. It's something that is based on some good fundamentals. If it's not, then I believe it'll become very contemporary, very trendy, and disappear over time pretty quickly. So let's add a little bit of shadow here, right here. Okay, so somebody's saying that they have real trouble drawing characters in proportions. Just like in life, It all depends on where your focus is at. You know, if your focus is on this one arm as I'm drawing this one arm, then of course it'll be hard to make things in proportion because you're not thinking about the other arm. And that has a direct relationship with this arm because they should be roughly the same size. You know, if I'm drawing a nose, I'm not concentrating on just the nose. I'm concentrating right in the center. I'm concentrating on the two eyes. I'm concentrating on the mouth. I'm concentrating on everything around there, and hopefully even more, so that the nose feels like it fits in properly. Okay, so any advice for book illustrators? Thank you for the reminder, Elise. Book illustrators, well, number one is creating artwork, tons and tons of artwork that looks like professional book illustration. Not scraps, not sketches, but professional looking artwork. Okay? And you want to do this before you show anybody your stuff because this will make you look like a professional instead of amateur trying to get into the business. You know, you really do have only one chance for a good first impression. So think about what that impression is going to be, especially for all of you out there that want to make a book and things like that, want to do the convention circuit, and self-promote and all that stuff. That's a really good thing to think about. You want to present yourself well right off the start. Because guess what? We all love to see artists flourish and grow. We love to see where our favorite artists came from and all their crappy drawings that they did to take them to that place in their life. And many of you have seen my first drawings, my first websites, and seen where I came from. The main thing is that even though we love to see this kind of stuff, we as a general population don't really respect the people as much when we see that. Why? Because they've just been exposed. When we look at these great drawings, these great paintings and everything, these great artists, it's kind of hard to picture that they came from a humble beginning just as yourself. And we put them on these pedestals when really they were just like you and me when we started. If you're drawing with me right now, if you're painting with me right now, if you're doing this caveman exercise with me right now, just for the heck of it, just for yourself, these are the same habits that brought me to where I am today. So if you're doing this, then good for you. You're on that track. Okay, so did you, was I planning on doing any life drawing courses on Schoolism? If yes, who would I consider to be the teacher? I've definitely thought about it. Definitely, we talked to a bunch of different artists about that. And I myself, I've taught life drawing for a bunch of years at Sheridan College. So I can't give you a definite answer right now. But it's definitely a big possibility for the future because life drawing is super important. Okay, so everybody has half an hour left. Half an hour left for your caveman caveman concept. So today's theme, that is something that I hope that you will think about throughout the rest of the day, which is that if you can dream it, you can do it. You know who said that? Does anybody know who said that wonderful quote? A true dreamer in history, one of the biggest dreamers in history, somebody that everybody in the whole entire world knows. Walt Disney. Kozak, you won the prize. You know, a couple of the other really awesome quotes that I love. You know, there's one with Albert Einstein. He said something to the effect of, I'm totally paraphrasing this, okay? I might completely butcher this, but it was something to the effect of, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. And what that means to me is that going after our dreams, you know, don't be frustrated if you come towards any mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, you know, will go through these trials and tribulations when they're trying to do something innovative. Okay, there we go. I don't know, that's a lot of fur on that chest. Let me see. Take a bit off of there. Okay, so for all you that are tuning in for the very first time today, you know, what's all this sketching about? Well, this is going to be for a sketchbook that I'm making with Comics Bureau in Europe. I keep saying Europe because I don't know which exact country it's going to be from. I know these books are going to come out in French. So, besides that, I'm not sure what else. But then again, you know, it's pretty much universal because there's not going to be any text in my book. So French or no French, everybody will be able to enjoy it, whoever is interested in it. Oh yeah, that's another great quote. You know, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, and imagination encircles the world. Albert Einstein. Smart guy. Smart guy, smart guy. Okay. There we go. Get some color on this guy. Now, a couple people were saying that they were typing before the broadcast that you know, Steven Silver was on the show yesterday, and there is a possibility of him coming on to the show live and interactive, video and everything, while I'm painting next week. And I could tell you that that is absolutely true. Steven Silver, a good buddy of mine, amazing character designer out in the LA area in California. He's going to be on the show, and hopefully many, many more guest artists as we go along. I get all my buddies on here, and we're going to interview him, talk to him about all the things that he went through, what he believes in, how did he get to where he is, and hopefully we can all just, you know, get some inspiration from an awesome guy, awesome artist. And yeah, so that's going to be very cool. Okay, we'll see when that will be. I will announce it on my Twitter or the blog or both, so you could follow me on there. Question. What's led to the most exposure and high-profile jobs? Your books, website, blog, Schoolism, or your teaching work? I'd say everything. Everything has contributed. That's why I promote the fact that people need to get intense. You don't want to, well, you can, okay? You can paint all relaxed and all, just doodling with no real focus, but that won't take you anywhere. To take you to somewhere that you want to go, you have to get intense and you have to get crazy. You have to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do to be successful. Like staying up with me right now. Like waking up early with me right now. For all of you, who out there today is up late? Who out there right now woke up early to catch the CHIU-Stream? And where are you from? Where are you from? This kind of positive thinking, these kind of positive activities is going to bring together the world. I'm telling you. You can see it right here, right now. The whole entire world, the selective few, the ones that have that real potential in them, many of them are in this chat room right now. Why? Because you have the heart to get up early, to stay up late, to keep going. And that's the most important ingredient. It's not talent. Talent comes from this kind of attitude. So good for you, everybody that just texted just now. Even for those of you that, it's not that late, it's not that early, good for you anyways, because guess what? It's a Sunday, and you're over here, you're painting with me. Don't sit on the sidelines. Paint with me. You don't even have to post it up. You can still paint with me. Positive vibes, positive vibes. And as you're painting, I'm painting here too. To show you that, these are the habits that brought me success. If you do it too, you're going to be successful as well. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't absolutely mean it. But the thing is that you can't just do the time. You got to do this with intensity, with the idea in mind of how you're going to improve. What are you working on? It could be many things. It could be just characters, so you're painting cavemen with me. So how do you post your drawing? You just do a link on the blog, on the Imaginism Studios blog. Peter will write the link for you. And you just post up your entry there, and then I'll take a look at it. Honestly, this is like the most fun stuff ever, this Ustream stuff. This is like the best sketch group ever, because this is worldwide all at once. And there's intensity going on because you have a time limit. So if you joined in today, really good for you. I'm really proud of you, and you're totally doing the right thing. I guarantee it. So I'm doing it right here in Toronto, Canada. You know what I mean? Yeah, now you have 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. Okay, what's that layer on top of your current layer right now? Oh, this is just a template, I think. Yeah, it's just a template for crop marks. This was a template that was given to me by the fine people at Comics Bureau. I'm making a sketchbook for them, so that's why I have that layer. I could totally take that layer off. doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's go a little warmer. Okay. There we go. So that's looking pretty good. Question: do you have other friends who don't do art? Do you ever meet any people who do something else? Yeah, I have, most of my friends do art, okay? Most of my friends do art, but I do have the normal, so-called quote-unquote normal friends as well. Accountants and things like that, and you know, it's all about who who's really intense, who's really going after their dreams. That's the common factor in most of my friends. It's just they're all intense, they're all crazy, and they all want to, really succeed and strive for big things. Okay. Let me just adjust this color a little bit. Okay, so would you prefer to or if we could actually talk to you too? You know what? I'm gonna work on that for this week. How about that? Well, I'll try to figure a way out so people can call in and we'll do a little, a true little talk show. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, we could try to do it through Skype. We could try to do it through Skype and just take some callers and things like that. And then you, from anywhere in the world, will be able to call in and talk with me live on the CHIU-Stream for everybody to hear. And it would be utter craziness, awesomeness, and try to do something that totally makes sense that hasn't been done before. Okay. Alright, well then I'll definitely work on it. I'll get my programmers on it, figure a way out and how we can do this, and look out for it. Look out for it this week. Lots of crazy things happening this week. I really don't like that tone. Let me just darken that a bit. There we go. That's a good tone. A little dirtier in the cheeks. Okay, question. Do you prefer having layers in color mode? You know what? That's a great question. And the main thing is that if you watch me paint enough, you'll see me painting in all sorts of different ways. You know, right now I just been painting monochromatic to start for the sketchbook. But really I do all sorts of different stuff. And that's the thing. You want to learn as many different ways as possible to do all sorts of different things. Knowledge is power. It gives you options. You know, so do I do this? Do I do that? Yeah, I do just about every kind of approach you can think of. Why? Because, I've always had that idea where knowledge is power. If I learn every kind of way possible, even ways that I think of myself, that'll give me options. And then I can do things specific to what people might want or what would best solve whatever art related problem I have with some painting. That's the whole entire idea. Collect that knowledge. Collect that knowledge. Me being in Toronto, Canada, and so many amazing artists all over the world, but especially in California, because I want, I love the film industry. Um, it was tough for me in the beginning, kind of tough, to learn how other people are doing things because I just didn't have that access. But guess what? With Schoolism, I'm able to learn from all of them, because I made that stuff so that I'm supposed to watch all the videos and make sure that everything's good and all that stuff. So from that aspect, I'm learning from all sorts of different people all the time. Broaden your horizons, broaden your database of knowledge of how to do things differently and how to, give yourself some options. Options equals freedom. Okay, so how often do I do these Ustream videos? I try to do them every day. This has been perhaps, I think this is our 8th or 9th day, I believe 8th day in a row or something like that. I don't remember. Maybe somebody can help him out with that. But how many people out there have been watching at least 3 of these Ustream videos? If you've watched at least a few of these Ustream videos, wow, good for you. If you've been painting with me, say something. Let me know. Because good for you. Absolutely. You're on that right track. And I will promise to, try to do as many of these Ustream videos as possible. I will try to, help lead that pack of motivated people as long as you promise to just try and follow along and keep with it. Keep doing this. Let's let this community grow of all these psycho sketchaholics out there and let it grow. Let it flourish. Let's get addictive. Let's change the face of art itself. Learning from each other, conversing with each other. Let's take advantage of the internet like this. And I'm going to promise you to try and keep thinking of as many cool things like this to do as possible so that we can all keep learning together. Because it's more fun this way too. You have somebody to sketch with. It's really cool over here on my side too because I could say something and then all these people react. It's like it's so inspiring and so much energy. And when I ask people, who's pumped today? Who's pumped? Who's ready to get intense? And then all these people start texting like crazy. All of you guys start texting like crazy. And it's just like this awesome surge of energy. You can feel it. All these people from all over the world sitting at their desks, sitting, in front of their computers, with their pencils ready, tablets ready, painting away, sketching away. This is awesome. We've literally, you and I have just built this awesome community together, full of intense individuals, positive vibes, learning art, doing art, just for the sake of art. So thank you guys for tuning in. Especially the ones that have been there since the very beginning. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and you've really started to get it. You guys really get it, really understand what it takes. And I'm sure many of you listening home right now, if you've been practicing with us and all that stuff, intensity getting involved, asking the questions that you want to know the answers to, you know, you have your head in the right place. You're going to achieve your dreams, no matter what. And if anybody says differently, you ignore them because that's some stuff that you really don't want. And when you're closer to the bottom, let me tell you something. When you're closer to the bottom, when you're just starting off, there's many, many more people like that around you that will be negative, that will tell you you can't do this, that you can't do that, and what are you talking about? But you know what? All these people will either shut the hell up afterwards once you start making it, or they'll just start talking behind your back. Either way, they're not telling you that anymore. And whatever they're not telling you won't affect you, right? And then you can keep going on. And when you get higher and higher, when you get more and more successful, guess what happens to the people around you? The people around you become people that are much more positive, that are much more enthusiastic, a lot nicer, and a lot more encouraging. Because people that are intense and have a real love for what they do, a real passion, attract these kind of people. Or change old people that used to be, negative into people that are positive. The best way to change somebody else, you have anybody in your life that is negative, that you really can't get rid of. Maybe you live with them. These kind of people, the best way to change them is to change yourself. Say, for example, somebody that always tells you, why are you always drawing? Why are you always painting? Stop wasting time, all this stuff. And every time you respond by saying, no way, man, what are you talking about? Baba Chu told me that if I kept drawing, I'm going to be all good and stuff. And, out comes this whole argument and everything, this debate. Baba Chu, who the heck is that? That guy don't know stuff. Nothing. And if you keep reacting that way, nothing will change. But if you want to change them, all you have to do is change yourself first. Change your reaction to them, and they will have to change their reaction, their behavior. So let's do this again, why are you doing all that stuff? Why are you listening to this guy Bobby Chu? Why you keep trying to shoot for these dreams that are totally unrealistic? And you say to them, if it's okay with you, I just want to do this because this is something positive that I can do right now instead of going out there and causing trouble and doing bad things. Even if I don't get anywhere, I still, I would like to be able to do this. So, you do your own thing and I'll do mine. And then they would have to react in a different way, right? Because you're not being super defensive anymore. Once you change your way of thinking, once you change your behavior, then whoever is negative in your life, they will have to change their behavior as well. Because otherwise they won't be able to, communicate with you. And either way, they still want to communicate with you in one way or another, usually. So that was something that I learned from dealing with difficult people sometimes, is that the best way to change the situation, change them, is to always change yourself first. Okay, so there's my weird little caveman. Let's read some questions. You always talk about getting to the next level. Out of 10, what level are you? I think I'm gonna like this question. What level are you personally at now? Well, what level am I at now? that's the whole thing, you know, like even if you get to the top level, there's always another level above it. I'm not planning on beating this game. I'm not planning on, you know, finishing this game. Not beating this game, but finishing this game. I'm not planning on getting to the top level. I will make levels up for myself and say, okay, when I get to this level, I will know, because as a reward, I'll buy myself this, or I'll go out and I'll do that. Or, you know, when I get to that level, I would get, uh, you know, this amount of exposure or win this kind of award. There's so many different levels that I've gone through in my head. I have what I call our, you know, that is my master plan number, you know, 46 or whatever, and you know, so many different steps. It's all in your head, right? What level are you at now? I have no idea. You know, some days I feel awesome. I feel like I'm on level like 200 or whatever. Some days I feel like, man, what have I done today? I feel like I just dropped 50 levels. You know, but it's all in your head, right? And you always want to achieve that next level. And how do you do this? Well, you think about it, where you were before and where you are now. If it's different, you just jumped a couple levels. If it's different, if it's better, if it's improved, if you can say what you've learned, what is different now, and how have you changed, then you just jumped a whole bunch of levels. So how many levels are there? It's endless. So what are the fundamentals for you, or for me, as another question? Um, you know, the fundamentals are fundamentals of life, basically, things that affect everything in life. Okay, so for example, what affects everything in life? Structure. There's structure in life. There's light in life. There's the feeling of movement, gestures, right? There's all sorts of different stuff. And all of those things are fundamentals, basically. And you want to learn as many as possible to get to a point where you can call yourself a really good artist. Um, or, you know, because calling yourself a really good artist, that's probably not, that might sound a little conceited, but you know what I mean. You know, like to get to a level where you are going to be useful in the whole entire evolution of art and everything, you want to get to a level, or you know, you want to get to a level where you know your fundamentals well. Okay. Question: what other artists do you reference? You know, back when I was learning, I referenced from a whole bunch of people and everything, but I would never post that kind of stuff because that's somebody else's thoughts, that's somebody else's ideas. Nowadays, I don't reference anybody anymore. I think about life itself because that is the motherlode of all the reference that you'll ever need in the world. Everything. You know, art is a reflection of life. Just like how this man, this, you know, character right here, I didn't, you know, you'll never find a person that looks like this. But this is a reflection of what people look like. So then you can still look at it and go, oh, that's a person. You know, art is a reflection of life. So go out there and learn about life itself. And that's when you will come up with the most original stuff, the most original styles. It's just from learning from life itself. Okay. How can you trust all your hard work is taking you into the right direction? That's by Matt Mitt. You know, it's just, oh, shoot. Okay, so time is up. Is time up? Everybody's going to be posting their images onto the Imaginism Studios blog. Right there, Peter Chan just gave a link. Okay, and it's time to post your stuff onto the blog. We're going to take a look at it in just a little bit. I'm going to take a look at it, and I'm going to pick my favorite one, and then I'm going to, or not necessarily favorite, but I'm going to take one of these images, and I'm going to put it on screen, and I'm going to sketch my own version of it, live and interactive, on the CHIU-Stream. Okay, but there's my little caveman here. So, who's your favorite artist, biggest source of inspiration? I have many, many different, favorite artists out there. To name one is probably just totally unfair. Inspiration, I get my inspiration from all sorts, not just artists. Definitely not just artists, but from everybody, all sorts. Oh, here's a good question. Do you have a lot of haters that just don't believe in you? Even though you are, this big now? Well, yeah, you know, and I know that some of them are listening because I know that they still love to listen in, even though they love to talk stuff to, behind my back and all this stuff. Why? Because they never believed me in the beginning, and they don't want to admit defeat now. That people can reach their goals and they can stay wherever they want, even in Toronto, Canada, and still do all this Hollywood stuff, still be a part of the industry big time. And for all of you haters out there listening right now, let's all together, all the positive people, all of us, let's just say a little thank you to all the haters right now, because those haters are the ones that tend to really push us in the right ways sometimes with all that negative energy. Thank you, haters. Thank you so much. Because without you, there is no us. Alright, let's go and let's take a look at, yeah, that's right. For all of your haters, let's take some time out and thank all of your haters, because without your haters, you would be different. You wouldn't be as positive as this. You wouldn't be wanting to paint and draw late at night, early in the morning. I love it. I love it. So let's go and take a look at some of these comments right now. Some of these entries right now. Okay. My internet is slow again today. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Let's pick one randomly right in the middle somewhere. Murdoch. Let's take a look at Murdoch's. That's pretty funny. Let's take a look at Jessica Singinger. Great job, Murdoch. Cool. A little sketchy, but that's okay, William, let's take a look at William's stuff. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I believe your name is Chelsea. Let's take a look at Chelsea's stuff. Is it Chelsea? If it isn't, I apologize. Let me just make sure. Okay, so I got it right. Marianne, let's take a look at Marianne's stuff. Chelsea's got a great site. Right on, Marianne. Good job. Alright, let's take a look at Jimena. I hope I didn't get that wrong. Cool, right on. I like that one. I'm gonna keep that one right there. That's one of the finalists. Derek Johnson. Let's take a look at Derek Johnson. That's pretty cool. Let's keep going. Also, very cute. And oh, please just try to put one comment also, or else everybody's gonna be posting up tons and tons of entries, all the repeated entries, and it'll be impossible to get through them all. Oh, very cool. Quaker Ninja. Nice job, Quaker Ninja. Very cool, very designy. Oh, right. We already seen this one. Okay, you know what? Time's up. We're going to take a look at... What is this person's name? Jimena Sanchez. Alright. Let's turn the chat back on. And we're gonna go like this. And feel free to, a great idea would be to put your domain name or whatever you want to plug with your name there, and put it on the image, because when I post it, then you can see it, okay, and everybody can see it and go to your link and all that stuff, and hopefully you'll get a little bit of extra exposure from this. Okay, so very cool drawing. This one is done traditionally. This is the first traditional one. Alright, and we're gonna do our little sketch. So let's go, let's do this. Those are some awesome entries indeed. Pitch black. Congratulations to everybody that participated, because you participated, and you did the right thing, and you got to drawing. So congratulations to everybody that participated. And for those of you that didn't participate, hey, if you're drawing and painting, or if you're just simply just learning as well, then good for you. Okay, so where am I going to put this? Let's put this right over here. Okay, and I'll just start sketching. Okay. So for those of you that are just tuning in right now, this is live and interactive with Bobby Chiu. And what we're doing here right now is, every time we do a live CHIU-Stream, try to come up with a good topic that we can all paint, exercise our minds, exercise our abilities, and it's all for the sake of just getting better. This is what it takes. This is what it takes. And we have a little pressure on by limiting the amount of minutes that we have. I'm gonna make them with little legs, because I like little legs. They're funny, and they look like my little hairless guinea pig Toby. Yeah, maybe one day I'll put him on. Cool little creature. Okay. Let's go. Let's do this. Little caveman. He's got his arm here. And he's pulling on the little dude. I'm thinking that I want to make this caveman even smaller. Bring him down like this. This might be a little bit... Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, let's see. Let's erase this. And bring it down a little bit more. You know, little guy with a big old club. Thought behind this is just that, yeah, if it's a little guy, it's kind of cuter because he's little and he's trying to pull on this other little creature, and he has a big ol' club. Just playing with proportions just makes things a little bit funnier, I guess, or at least for my taste. But awesome sketch, really nicely done. And well deserved to be on the CHIU-Stream. Okay, there we go. Okay. The other thing that I'm working on right now, ever since I started doing the CHIU-Stream, is that this would be really cool if all the contestants could upload their images so that we can all see them very easily as thumbnails and such or whatever, and be able to vote on them. So that's the great thing about being independent. You know, I have programmers and stuff like that, so that work for, you know, Imaginism and everything. So I'm actually getting them to come up with something to make this even more interactive, even better, so that we can do these kind of little competitions even more. I think that's going to be so awesome, and I will keep you up to date with the progress of that. Hopefully it'll be in the next week or two, and then that'll be super cool, because we'll all be able to, you know, participate, upload our images, you know, and yeah, like upload our images. I'll be able to see them, open it up, see all these different thumbnails of the different images, so everybody can see their work on the CHIU-Stream. And then we'll pick one. We'll all vote, and we'll all pick one. How's that sound? Can we have more than 1 hour? You know, I know it's hard to do the 1 hour thing, but it's a good thing. It puts the pressure on. You know, it keeps the motivation going. And if your sketches are not as complete as you want, don't worry, okay? Don't worry. Just keep trying, and it's going to get better. It's going to get better. An hour, exactly. 1 hour is intense. That's the whole entire point. That's one of the main themes of this whole CHIU-Stream, is it's time to get intense. It's time to get crazy with it. You know, it's time to really put our stuff into, you know, high gear, and really just start concentrating big time. Get that pressure going, because that pressure is something that is necessary to really, you know, create some big changes. If you're painting and you're painting comfortably, then you're not progressing as much, not nearly as much. If you're painting with some intensity, that's when your brain starts to go into overload, and that's when your brain afterwards goes, holy shoot, I better get better at this kind of thinking, this way of thinking. And next time it'll become a little bit better and a little bit better. And it's just like muscles in your brain. Okay, so consider this the workout. Consider this the U-Stream workout, the CHIU-Stream workout, you know, because this is bringing things to more of an intense level. Now, when you work out and you want to build big muscles, do you pick up the light weights or the heavy weights? You know, the light weights is la la la, just painting along. I'm having so much fun painting along, and it's so relaxing. I love life drawing because it's so relaxing. I hear that so much, I'm just like, every time I'm just like, no! Life drawing shouldn't be relaxing. It should be intense. It should be crazy. It should be you're mentally tired by the end of it. That is a good workout. That's what's going to create some real big changes in your life, in your skill level, all that stuff. Okay, here we go. It's looking pretty cool. So, you know, when you pick up the big weights in the gym, that's like the equivalent of getting intense when you're painting this CHIU-Stream stuff, right? The CHIU-Stream topic of the day. You gotta get intense with it. That's how we're gonna take your, you know, your brain muscles, same with mine, and get them going a little quicker. You ever tried painting while talking? It's super hard. But I'm getting better at it because of you guys, because of the consistency, because, you know, every time we're trying to get intense, we're trying to get crazy with it, you know? So really good question. I forget how that all started off, but that was a really good question. And there's my little guy. There's my little dino. Let me do the dino now. The dino's super cute. Question, kind of personal. While at school, have you had a teacher that invested a lot of time in you, yet you felt like you were not progressing as fast as you'd like? Did you let them down? No. Sorry. You know, if you put in the effort, then, you know, you didn't let down anybody. And that's kind of like the thing that I always thought about when I was, you know, learning and everything. Because how could I have let you down? I try real hard. And isn't that the main thing? You know, if I'm trying real hard, yeah, it is. Because eventually, even though nothing seems like it's moving right now, it is. It's moving a tiny, tiny bit. It's like trying to move a mountain. You're not going to know if you move that mountain 1 millimeter. Okay, but once you get momentum going, that mountain becomes a giant snowball, and then you really start to notice. You just gotta keep pushing. You just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep thinking that this is what you need to concentrate on, the fact that you need to keep going, and stop thinking about whether or not you know, you're letting anybody down, because that's not gonna help you. If you're thinking, oh, I made somebody proud, then absolutely keep thinking about that. Some things in life we don't need to think about, because that's only going to get in the way. It's like I was hearing this interview on the internet somewhere. I forget who. Maybe it's Tony Robbins, I don't know. But some other motivational person. But they were saying that a race car driver was teaching them some stuff, and you could chime in if you know who that was, where this story is from. I'm sorry that I don't know, I can't remember. But you know, race car driver teaching this guy how to drive cars real fast, you know, and he said, well, totally paraphrasing this story, as many of my stories, because this is straight off the fly. This is live and interactive, you know. So what happened was this person's learning how to drive race cars, and the race car driver tells him that when you are making this giant turn at crazy speeds, don't think about trying not to crash into the wall. Direct your attention to where you want to turn to, where you want to go, because that's the only way to get there. Once you start thinking about the wall, then that's when you crash. And that, I believe, we can say the same thing for your same question about worrying about people, you know, disappointing people. We can't worry about that. We got to think about, where do we want to go? You know, so where do you want to go? Right? And that's the entire purpose of me asking you all the questions about, you know, what are your goals? What are your goals? Keep repeating those goals to yourself. Even out loud. Out loud is even better. Who cares if people are thinking that you're weird? You know, when I was first starting off, I had a big job, right? This job was to create the look of the image that's going to go on the front of this piece of software. And this software was going to be worldwide, you know, worldwide in every Apple store in the world. And I had to go in there as a young guy and try to convince all these people, a whole, you know, table full of people that are all older than me, that I'm the right guy to do the job. And my idea is what's going to really help sell their product. You know, if I dwelled on all this stuff like, oh, they're not going to believe me, things like that, I never would have, you know, gotten it. In fact, I was so intense with it because I was so nervous about going in there and talking to these people, that literally, basically, what I did was I got a super long lunch at work and I just left. You know, I went to this other place to try to get this freelance gig, and on the streetcar, I remember sitting in the very back and chanting out loud with my fist in the air. And out loud doesn't mean just, oh, just saying some stuff like this. No! I had the voice going. I'm trying to empower myself. And I'm telling myself that confidence, calmness, and talent will radiate from me like the rays of the sun. Never ending. Intense and super powerful. And I try to imagine that. And I kept repeating this until all the homeless people started to get different seats. Started to sit away from me in the back of the streetcar. You know, and I was chanting this. I didn't care. I didn't care who else was on that streetcar because I was focused, you know. I probably looked like a complete crazy person, but I was chanting this, that talent and confidence radiates from me like the rays of the sun, never ending and intense. For about 25 minutes I was on that streetcar chanting this craziness. And then when I got off, I really tried to feel it down deep inside and go inside there and give my meeting, and I ended up getting that job. You know, nowadays I don't really feel that pressure too much anymore like I did that day, because it was new, you know, it was a new experience. So, you know, but that really did work. Visualizing these rays of confidence coming from me, you know, giving me power, giving me the confidence that I needed to go into this meeting. You know, and And yeah, you could do the same thing with your goals. I do the same thing with my goals now. What is my goal? My goal is to change the face of how we educate each other in art. Because there's a lot of people out there that love to just open up some sort of institution that really they don't have any real credentials, and they start spreading the word of how art should be or whatever. Well, now it's my turn. I want to spread how I feel art is and what helped me become a successful artist. Okay. So, this is what happens when I start doing some real subconscious painting. It doesn't look too hot, but that's just because I got all into the talk and everything. This is live and interactive after all, so I hope you won't think too badly of this. So what are your inspirations for what are your inspirations other than from art? My favorite inspiration to draw from is from other people and their stories. Because no matter what, just about wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, whether you're 70 years old or not, you can always find somebody with a story that starts off by having even harder times than you, which leads me to believe that anything is possible. And that's why most of the time for inspiration, I go to other people besides artists, because artists only take up a certain amount of the successful people in the world. This is talking about people, presidents. This is talking about mega moguls that might be rap stars or singers, whatever, inventors, everything. That's why I love reality TV, because reality TV shows, even though much of it might be fake or whatever, I'm talking about the ones that are competition, that feel like they're pretty much real. I love that kind of stuff because it shows a regular person turning from a regular person to something different, something really special, which gives me the drive to say, yeah, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Look at this person. This person is telling this story about him being a telephone or cellular phone salesman, and he wants to be an opera singer. He looks all crazy and stuff on TV the first time you see him, but then he starts to sing. Before you know it, he becomes an opera singer, a famous opera singer. That's so cool. And there's so many stories like that. Okay. So there we go. I gotta run. I got a meeting to go to. I gotta get ready for. Yeah, on a Sunday. So, hope you all enjoyed today's CHIU-Stream broadcast. And if you want to find out when my next CHIU-Streams are, you can follow me on the blog. You can follow me on Twitter. I'll announce it on there. But for the meantime, take care. Good luck to you. Keep painting, keep drawing, keep getting intense, keep getting crazy with it. Never give up, never stop, never surrender. We can do it. And if you come back with me every time and you can't keep painting with me, trust me, you're going to start seeing the improvement. Because you'll start seeing my improvement as well. And we'll just learn together and draw together, and it's going to be awesome. And let's build up this community real nice and big, and keep the positive vibes going wherever you're from. Let's let this be the place to find intense artists that are ready to learn, ready to share, ready to get crazy, and ready to get real good at art real quick with intensity. Okay? So for Bobby Chiu, signing off. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Thank you so much for everyone that's been tuning in for these last few days. It's been so great. It's been so motivational, so inspirational to me. So thank you. And for everybody else that's thanking me, well, you're very welcome. I'm so glad that you can make it from all over the world.